Okay, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. We're starting the class right away. Now, this afternoon, what we will be discussing this afternoon, I just pray the network will be fair with us today. So I will be fast and so that we can cover before the network will come again. I don't want them to disrupt our, our class because we can't predict our people here. So this afternoon, we'll be discussing about Pepe, specifically at Arodo. But I just decided since we're resuming this, I just decided, why don't we just take Rodo, bell pepper, and Rodo, bell pepper, and every other pepper that is remaining together. So I will be interchanging their discussion because I've been experimenting with all of them together. Now, this is what happened. When people, ironically or jokingly, people will say, pepper don't red. If you hear pepper don't red, I don't get pepper. It means I have money. I have money now. You keep wondering, why are they using pepper for money? Or why, understand? Or, those kind of things. But it never occurs to people that it's because pepper is equal to money. Pepper is actually money by itself. So now this afternoon, I'll take my time to explain why pepper is referred to money. Actually, in the normal sense, why they refer to pepper as money is you make a lot of money when you plant pepper. But welcome to our country. Okay, recording in progress. So we start. Since we are just starting, I just hope the network will cooperate with us today. Okay, so people just use interchangeably. They use pepper, money, but most people don't understand why they do so. But in the class there, we'll be explaining it because from an acre of pepper, you can make a lot. But likewise, from the same acre of pepper, it could really fall you down if you don't follow the right process, if you don't follow the necessary things to do. I showed a video on the farm this morning and I was explaining, I said, pepper is one of the most difficult crops to propagate. As in, when you want to propagate pepper, you really need to be very, extremely careful. Okay, these are the other type of pepper. Like I said, we'll be discussing all different types of pepper together because they go through the same system and they give the same challenges and you can get them through the same. As I'm speaking right now on the farm, I'm experimenting with chili pepper. No, chili is not even a big issue for me, but I'm experimenting with bell pepper, as in I'm trying again, not that I've not planted them again. I'm working with bell pepper, I'm working with bell pepper, I'm working with chili pepper, I'm working with rodo and bawa. Because see, there's something, anything that people eat every day, anything that people use every day is a highly demanded commodity. And because it's something that you can't do without it. You can't do without pepper. You can't, everybody eats pepper. Almost everybody eats pepper. The quantity by which we eat might differ. So because of that, it is highly demanded. For instance, when you talk of bell pepper is this sweet pepper. It could be yellow, it could be green, it could be any color. And it could be purple. There was purple. There's purple, there's yellow, there's orange, there's every color of bell pepper. Now, you find out that you go to the market sometimes, 2 of it might be selling for 1,000 naira. Even at times, they sell 1 for 1,000 naira for bell pepper. They sell 1, at times 2. To let you know the extent at which it is sold. 1 kg of yellow pepper goes for 2,000 naira. Okay, yellow pepper. And that yellow pepper, maybe you need 5 or 6 to make, maybe 3 or 4 to make 1 kg, depending on how the nutrients you feed into them. But like I told you, they are very challenging to plant. I'm not going to say because I'm doing training, no. But if you can get them right, here in this class, I'm going to explain, I think I picked 5 important points, 5 major points that have been helping me to plant my pepper. So we're going to discuss those 5 major points. We're going to be discussing them. I'm going to be a bit fast because of our network that is always messing up. So I may be fast with other things. Like the pepper class, I'm moving with 4 types of pepper. They go through the same process, they go through the same anything. So anything we're discussing, I will be using them interchangeably. It's the same process for all the type of peppers. Now, samples so that you understand what I'm saying. This first one here, this is rodo. This is rodo, and the second one here is bell pepper. Now, rodo is it's habanero. I intentionally call it rodo because here it's commonly known as rodo. Everybody uses it. The north we call it rudu, atarudu or whatever. It's atarudo, so it's common here. Is usually most times the most expensive. After bell pepper is the most expensive because it's not really common. Then followed by this atarudo. Quite expensive. I remember early this year, we were selling all this one for 2,000 per kg. The funny thing is that we don't even have them much. I planted about 35 beds of them in January, and I'm not sure we harvested much there compared to what it's supposed to produce. But since then, I did not rest because I keep experimenting because I want to get the result. You know, in 2 years ago, 2019 or 2018, I planted this same rodo, and I keep saying it. If it's continued going like that, by now I will have become a billionaire. You know, why I'm saying this is people eat it a lot. Rodo, especially in the Southwest, is a favorite. Bell pepper in its own case is expensive, but it's not really, the demand for it is high, but not as high as the atarodo. I'll tell you why. The demand for bell pepper is most people don't know it. You can't come to my village here and be telling them bell pepper. They don't know what is bell pepper. They don't know this. Instead, they know tatache, and people are using this to represent or to replace tatache. But there's one thing about it is that it's expensive. So people, even in the rural side or other side like that, they don't bother using tatache to cook. They just get rodo and tomato. They finish cooking. So that's why this one is not. But it's highly. Like I told you, it's sold sometimes one of it go for high price. So the kg. The other type of pepper. They are just joining us. I explained we'll be dealing with 4 types of pepper together. Now, this is chili. Yes, people are surprised. This is chili pepper. It's hot, and sometimes the size might be tiny, might be small. It's chili pepper. It's usually very hot. So it's red, it's green. Mostly in Nigeria, we have green and red. Most times I plant green, we sell it green, and sometimes it turns to red, we sell it red. This one, consistently, it goes for 800, 1,000 per kg for the chili pepper. I know why I'm giving you the price so that you understand what we're saying. It goes for 800, 1,000 per kg. This is bawa. We refer to it as bawa. It's not as pepperish as this second one and this first one, but they use it to thicken the soup. This is what people use to replace that bell pepper, tatache, and everything. This one is easily accessible than that tatache, that bell pepper that we showed the other time. So these are but the most important ones that sell most are chili, the rodo, and the bell pepper. They are hot cake. They are hot cake. Now we are going gradually into them. Now, see, pepper yield per plant and acre. You won't be in my class if you don't want to make money from pepper. So if you are here, I know you want to know, okay, what are you even saying? What is coming from there? Pepper has been a favorite. Like I told you, in my village, they name a pepper after me. They'll be shouting atayinka, atayinka, you know, that kind of thing. I plant a lot of pepper. Now, a plant will produce 3 normally. See, like I said, I use internet reading and I use my practical experience. Normally from internet, if you Google it, we look for plant per yield per plant. When we say yield per plant means what you will get throughout the growing season, not at one harvest. As in, if I plant tomato or I plant pepper or anything or those things that I plant, the yield per plant is what you will. The yield per plant is what it will give you, as in throughout the harvesting period. So now we have a plant will produce 3 to 4 kg throughout the lifespan. Yes, a pepper plant will give you 3 to 4 kg. But I told you, when you come to practicing and practical, I've experimented with it, I've practiced with it. You can't get, I have not gotten to that stage. So I can still boast and say you will get 1 kg throughout the lifespan. Now, this is what I do. You know, I always have trainees that come to the class. And everything like that. So that come to learn here. So I always, the lifespan of the pepper plant. Okay, pepper plant stays about some pepper are perennial crops. They can stay 2 years, they can stay 3 years, but I will explain, you don't need to keep them for 2-3 years, because as the longer they stay, the yield reduce. The longer they stay, your yield keep reducing. So what I do, if I use them for the first season when I plant for that one, now, okay, this is what I do. This is rainy, there's rain around there now, and the rain will soon go. So I have some pepper already on the farm. I have some nursery. I have some fruiting, different stages. Now, by the time the rain go, the ones that are on the bed and the rain met, the one I felt I've harvested the fruit, I will leave them. I will not remove them. I will not throw them. I will not cut them off. I will not uproot them. I will leave them. By early rain next year, early rain, the rain that will start, it will dry it off. Like this one, I'll harvest the pepper I was showing on the farm today. We started harvesting it. You harvest, you go to the market. By December, we'll still have fruits on it till December. By that December, when there's no rain in October or November, it will dry it off. Once it's dried off, we are not using it. I'm not going to remove it. We just leave it there. By the early rain coming year, early rain next year in May and in April or May, the first rain that will come, the pepper will pick up again. It will start producing for me again. So I will be able to go to market to meet that scarcity period when pepper will be scarce in the market. So most farmers do that. Me, it was not intentional. I just try to plant all the time. So that is what. So pepper is a perennial crop. It stays 2 years, provided you keep feeding it. If you feed it the first year, the second year you must also go back to feed it, as in give it manure, continuously give it water. It will fruit, flower, you finish harvesting, it will go back again and relax and start fruiting again for as long as you keep giving it water. But your yield will start reducing. So I don't keep pepper more than 1 year. Your yield will start reducing. Now, great variety not in Nigeria, hence we have 1 kg pepper fruits. I told you 3 to 4 kg. So, but I'm also telling you, no, we don't have those quality in Nigeria, or have not been able to achieve it. So the one I've been able to achieve or meet up is 3 to 4 kg, 1 kg per fruit. But I don't even calculate with 1 kg. My expectations is not 1 kg because I may not meet up most of the time. So my calculation usually go to 500 grams per fruit, 500, 300 grams per fruit. Now, if you are using, I'm sure most of the people that are attending the class today have been used to my raised bed system and all this. So if you are using the raised bed system on a bed and at 30 centimeters, you're actually going to have 320 plants. Even more than that, almost 350 plants. But I've told you how I approximate. The drip tapes will give you, the drip tapes will give you 85 plants on a line, and we have 4 of it. So I have approximated to 80 times 4, that's 320. So that's why I normally say 300. But normally I don't still calculate with 300. I will tell you why. You plant most times I feel, see, if I'm using mulching film or I'm using so many of the materials, if I have the financial capacity to pull all those materials, definitely I will be not netting my 320, 330 plants. Excuse me. But because I am not, we are not there yet. So I don't calculate my expectation with 300. No, I go for 200 because some of your plants will miss. You nurse and you transplant and you give it water and anything. Some will still miss. During weeding, see, the boys that are weeding, they are doing manual weeding. As they are doing manual, some plants will get uprooted. But assuming you use mulching, they are not going to do all those manual weeding. So your plant will be safe. I'm just being candid with you. So because there are so many things that make the plant not to be complete. But when we were transplanting, it will definitely be complete. Now, again, working with 500 grams, like I told you, I work with 500 grams. I don't go for 1 kg. Even 500 at times, I still reduce it because I know, see, our expectations need to be low. I'm sorry. Then when you net more than that, you'll be happy and you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. So that is, I've given that one. Now, cost analysis of pepper. Just looking at brief cost analysis of pepper. Price range. Now, any experience I'm sharing with you is what I've observed, is what I've been there before or whatever. As of this time now, pepper will be much, not much. Pepper, much that I mean is that if you go to mile 12 now, possibility is that your pepper will be like 300 naira per kg or 250 per kg. That's how much they are buying it from farmers. You know, farmers are not coordinated, so we don't get good price. They in the mile 12, if you go to mile 12 to buy yourself, to buy pepper, you will get it to buy at 600 or 700 naira per kg, as I'm speaking with you now. But if you go there to sell, you cannot sell less than 300 naira per kg, more than 300, 400. It is when they are selling at 1,012 that they will be giving you 800 or 700 or even 600. Now, I remember the other time where ShopRite's price, ShopRite buys at 500, 600 per kg. Their price is constant, but you know, they are getting the supply, as in buying from you, is not constant. There's a lot of farmer on ShopRite because we did not create market. I will tell you something. The people outside, as in the community, there's market in Nigeria, and we just have not created the market. I will explain. Now, if I want to sell my chili, if I want to buy chili pepper, it is when I go to my 12 that I'll be able to buy for 700 or 800 naira. If I don't go to my 12, I'm buying from that woman beside my house, I'll be buying for like 1,000 or 1,200. But farmer, the money that goes to farmer in the market is actually like 300 or 400. Can you see the gap? The difference is much. So it doesn't get to farmer. That's one of the reasons I'm just telling you now, you should join the group. We want to create a group in Lagos, the cluster group in Lagos. And the intention of the group is that I've been learning some boosting and ads. To be candid, I've not written about it. This is to network and get people that will be buying things from us individually. Personally, with me and my team, we have people that buy from us, but the quantity is not much. Then we still have the challenge that, okay, they want cabbage today. We can't supply them today because we don't have a storage facilities in Lagos where we can put the cabbage. They want chili pepper. We can't supply today unless we are harvesting big truck. So we are already working on the cooling system. And that's one of the reasons I'm bringing, the meeting in Lagos is also coming up. That was why Farm Fresh initiates that meeting that, okay, let's see if we can get more farmers in group that will help us to contribute, to join, so that when that place starts working in Lagos, you don't need to wait. Immediately I harvest 10 something, I move it there with the cooling system will not allow it to get by. And the people that will be distributing, the distribution will be networked, and we start increasing our distribution, because we couldn't sell well now because we don't have a cooling system in Lagos. Now, let me not divert the class. I have my reason for saying it. Because I'm giving it, because if you go, except if you are supplying company, I give the price. If you're supplying company, if you are supplying the processing company, they will not buy at, processing company will not buy at 600 naira, 800 naira, or 1,000 per kg from us. No, but they might offer us 300 naira. To most farmers, they feel 300 naira is bad. To me, with the raised bed system, 300 naira is not bad. Even 200 naira is not bad. Okay, about 5 years ago, or more than that, there's a company called Premax in Lagos at Ijora side. It's owned by white guys. I don't know, I sent message to them on, is it Facebook, or the way I just signed it, and they responded. And I told them I want to supply them pepper. I think I might go there again. They do processing. I told them I want to supply them pepper and everything, whatever. I don't know if you're free. So when I get across to them, can we please let the question wait? Oh, yes, you can plant pepper in sack, but please let the question wait, so that, see, the way our networks usually do. Please let's go far. Then we can, even if it means creating a space for question, please let the question hold on. Okay, so that you won't be distracting or you won't lose a lot of the class. So we found out that when they give me a price and said, okay, I want, they said, can you supply this? Can you supply this? I contact a friend of mine then, and we gave them one naughty price. I call it naughty because we gave them the price we sell to individuals outside. The difference is that they are buying bulk. If they are buying back from you, they won't pay the same price as the people you're selling to outside. So because of that, they told me they gave me their price, but to me it was too low. I think I'll even check the mail again and see if I can reopen that channel again. I'm talking about 5-6 years. I didn't even know as much as I know now. But I'm letting you to understand so that when I say 500 naira, 800 naira, that is open market. But for the companies, 300 naira is fair enough if you are using raised bed system and you're able to increase your yield. Now, yield is 8 to 15 tons per acre with raised bed. I'm very conservative with that yield, very, very conservative. When I'm calculating yield, I don't calculate yield per plant again. I just approximate. I say, okay, worst case scenario, they should be able to give me this. You understand? I don't, because if you start calculating with plants, if each plant is giving you 500 grams times 300, you're already getting how many tons on 1 acre? But I know the possibility is low. So I just approximate and I come to, okay, worst case scenario, if your pepper is doing fine, you should get 8 tons per acre. We're not talking of hectare, acre. That's 4,000 square meter. That's if you are using raised bed system, please. If you're not using raised bed system, you can't get this. If you're using raised bed system, it means you're having 24,000 plants on an acre. If you divide out your 24,000 plants by 8, it means 300 gram per plant. You can see the calculation, what I did there. So worst case scenario, I'm expecting 300 grams. That is, if that plant can fruit once. Because when we did the experiment with my student, I asked them to stay with each plant, and they harvest, they will scale it and tell me what it is. Because they normally stay here 3 months. So it was then we discover each plant of pepper, some can give us 300 grams. So at one harvest, especially their first harvest is usually very much. Some can give you 250 grams at one harvest. Okay. So now, cost outline for this pepper. I'm not bothering to introduce myself. I believe we are familiar with each other and we don't have much of new people around there until when they start buying the cost. So cost outline for pepper. We are going to be discussing these classes briefly here. Nursery bed making, raised bed design, manure application, irrigation, mulching. So we go straight off to nursery bed. Now you see the way this bed is. I intentionally pick pictures that are very clear and I make to be a bit big so that you can really see what I'm showing and when you are checking the videos again. Now you see, you see this is a nursery bed. This is how I make my nursery bed. This is how I design and make my nursery bed. You raise it up, you lose the soil. After losing the soil, you make a line. It is called linear system. There's another system called broadcasting. Broadcasting system, the seed is survival of the fittest. I don't use it. This is a linear system. Then you sow the seed right inside here. And then when they come up, they'll come like this in a row. You see, you can see this is the one line you drew. The one line you drew inside. So you can see. Now, after like a week, if your pepper has gone to this stage or come up a bit, you open up this soil, this empty soil there. You open it up and put manure. Poultry waste, cattle dungs, put manure. When you put the manure, you covered it back. As you are wetting, you'll be wetting. As you are wetting, the plant will be able to use the manure. So it will strengthen it up for you. It will strengthen it up. Now, let's see some other things you need to do for your nursery. One, making the nursery. You need manure, that's poultry waste or cattle dung, plus ashes, burnt wood, plus a bit of sawdust. You need them. You mix them together. You understand? In the same ratio, maybe, no, ashes is, this one should be ratio 2:1:1. Then you now spread it. Spread the mixture evenly on the nursery, on the bed. You're losing the bed, you create a loose area. You raise it up. The bed must be high. I'm going to show you, the bed must be high. Now, soak deep. Now this pepper you want to plant. I told you. Now let me tell you, I hope I'm not telling too much story. I'm trying to be fast and I'm trying for us to cover a lot. Okay, I told you in 2000, I've been planting peppers before. My peppers are always very good. I'll show you some of the pictures as we go. And then suddenly, 2019, I planted pepper that sold very well. I was almost determined I'm not planting anything again. Since I got market for pepper, let me just be doing my pepper. But unfortunately, the pepper stopped. After I had finished harvesting that one, the next ones that started nozzling, they were not surviving again. I bought several seeds. I spent so much. I keep buying anywhere. Help me buy this seed. Help me buy this seed. I keep repeating. I use different seeds a bit. Okay, class. It was a break in network, but we continue. I think if it can even, that was 20 something minutes. Okay, so I told you, so I did everything possible and I couldn't get the pepper again. I bought several seeds from 2019 till around 220 or even after that. So I have to relax myself and say, oh girl, leave this pepper alone. You know, it's like you felt you've reached that, you got that magic what, and then it's not working again. Even up to now in the community, everybody was saying pepe, 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 until recently. Now, so what I now started researching, okay, what did I not do well with this pepper? What is actually wrong? So when I was looking and searching like that, then I got somewhere, you soak the pepper seed in water overnight. I've never done that before. I don't know about that before until recently. So recently, I just told some of the students that were around, I picked the pepper. I said, look, this half, I take the pepper seed and I divide it into two. I said, okay, this half we are going to soak in water overnight. This half we are going to plant without soaking. So we did that. Unbelievably, the one we soaked overnight, despite that, we planted one today. We planted the normal one today. We sow it in the nursery. And the other one, it will be tomorrow because we soak it today. We'll plant it tomorrow. By the time we plant it, it germinates faster. It came out faster than the one we did not sow. So I know I've come across one solution for myself. So you soak the pepper seed in water overnight. You want to nurse tomorrow, soak it this evening. There was a tatache that, see, I battled. Now, tatache, I told you, is like bell pepper. They are also difficult to survive. That's why tatache, most people grow them in greenhouse. Of recent, I saw the one, I got a seed that they said, I saw those people, they plant it and it did not survive. It was not a greenhouse, it was an open feed. So I told them I want the seed. So they find some for me. I'm trying it out if it survived, but I know it survived because it has already germinated. I was on the farm today, I was showing the pepper. I was shocked because it's from the nursery. You will have known the one that will do well for you. From the nursery, you will know this thing is not performing. Most times when I tell them on the farm that this thing is not performing, they say, no, let's teach it. I said, it's not going anywhere. I've been doing this for long. So now, you soak it in water overnight. Then prepare a raised bed of 1 meter wide of any length. See, width, I be wide, don't mind my pronunciation sometimes. The width is 1 meter. If the width is 1 meter, when you stay at this side, you can stretch your hand. Look at the nursery I prepared there. You see, I can stretch my hand. This is the width now. You understand? From here to here. So I can stretch my hand from here to go to this place. But the length, this is what we refer to as length in our nursery, going straight like this. You can make the length as long as you want. But this place, from this place to this place, must be 1 meter. So that somebody will not need to be kneeling down on your pepper before they weed or before they take care of the nursery. So this length, actually, I just realized even the length, I used to make a long length, but I realized it's not worth it because it means you have to go and be turning. You have to turn around each time you want to take something at the other side. So for the nursery, you can make it a short nursery, 1 meter width, but short length, so that it can be easily accessible. So now prepare a raised bed of 1 meter wide. I've explained it. Draw straight line on the raised bed. You can see the straight line. Then sow the seed. That is your nursery. And then once you finish sowing, you wet. Then you wet morning, you wet evening. You do that for the next 1 week. After a week, your pepper should have come out. After 7 days, your pepper should have germinated, as in to pop out. Once the pepper pop out, you can reduce the water to only evening. If you are planting in rainy season, if it's rainy, you don't need to. If it's rain, you don't need to wet. But if there's no rain, you wet again. You understand? Then you reduce it to once, maybe only evening. When you wet in the evening, let me give you that advantage. If you wet towards evening time, the water will sink in and the pepper will be able to soak it up till tomorrow. If you wet in the morning time, if there is enough sun, evaporation will take the water away. Okay. So now we move to the raised bed for pepper. Now our next course. raised bed design. Why raised bed? I know I've been shouting raised bed, raised bed. Why? It prevents soil compaction. The roots of your plant want to move inside the soil. So the moment you start making raised bed, you're already losing the soil for your pepper or for your plant to stay. But if you leave it, the compacted soil, I'll show you some pictures there, you see. So it prevents soil conversion. It provides good drainage. The water will flow down. It will not soak or waterlogged when it's raining. Good management. You'll be able to walk in between the beds to correct this, to check if anything is bothering your plant. The characteristics of raised bed is just a mounded soil above the surrounding grade. Now, this is it. You just raise the soil up. This is a raised bed. See, this is the footpath. This is where you walk through this line. You walk through this line. This is the raised bed. You won't step on this, so that this is where you plant your crops, your pepper. Then when rain falls, water will get on top of this place, and then instead of it getting waterlogged, it will go to the lowest place, which is the footpath. Like anytime rain falls on our farm, you don't want to pass through this footpath. They'll be waterlogged. You won't even like it. Now, another reason why, look at this plant. You see, there's a belief when you see a plant up that is doing well, you know the roots must have gone deep. I don't know, you understand? So the deeper the root of your plant, the stronger or the better the fruit or whatever it gives you. So if your raised bed, if you didn't use raised bed and it's not properly loose, see the root is not deep. You see the growth compared to B, compared to C. So the better so for the root, you can see the root will be pushing soil. You can imagine you transplant something, the root will start developing. For them to develop, they are pushing away the soil in that environment. Oh yeah, go, leave, let me pass, move away, move away. If they get to a place that the soil says, no, I'm not going, I will stay, you can't push me. What happened? They are not growing again. They are not developing again. They stay at that level. That's why you need a loose soil. That is why they come with the idea of raised bed. So it's not just a fanciful or fashionable something. It's for the growth of the plant. Okay. I'm supposed to be cutting the video, but see, the other one stopped too. Look at this design I brought out again. You see this? When you transplant, this is the way the plant looks like. This is the way the roots. See the raise. You see the bed is raised there. If this place, as it's growing, as it gets to this place, it has gone to the end of your raised bed, of your it. So it can't go beyond that again. There's possibility that it might go beyond that if this soil has reached this place. So you should give room. That's why raised bed is recommended to be 30 centimeter high, as in 30 centimeter loose soil for the plant, for the pepper to, you can see, it can't go beyond this because it has gone to the base to where it can push. This is where you're losing the soil to. So since you didn't lose to pass this place, then that plant is not passing it here again. So it won't grow more than that stage. You can see it remain at that stage, and that's where to start fruiting. But the possibility is if this thing has gone down than this, then it will have been able to increase more. And you see, I will show. Oh, I hope I kept that picture. There's a picture of my pepper that is almost as tall as me. It means it fruits very well. Any pepper that is tall or they establish themselves very well, they fruit very well. Okay. Okay, so now the next thing is we're talking about manure application. If you have, you see, I know a lot of people are used to NPK, as in you want to use NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Yes, but in my home case, I've adopted the system of using poultry waste or cattle dung, and I will tell you why. I didn't go intensively into it here, but I will explain why I use that. Now, if you're using manure, cattle dung, they feed on grasses. Now, they feed on grasses, on green grasses. Even the livestock, poultry, you give them feed, which are produce of crop, corn, soya beans, everything you are mixing for your livestock are from the feed. And from the farm. You know, you understand what I mean? So all these things are natural. We believe they are natural things. So if you get cattle dung, and inside that cattle dung, because they are eating the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and everything, they are also excreting them back. That is what they are giving us back. So those cattle dung, those whatever you get the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium there, complete there. Yes, you get them there. So I use manure, poultry waste, cattle dung for my farm. Okay, today on the farm, one of the trainees was asking me, he said, you mean since you started this farm, you've never used NPK, as in the bag one and everything? And I took my time, I explained, yes, I've never. Okay, when I started, there was on 2 occasions from the local government, they shared NPK, and then they just assumed since I'm a farmer, they gave me 1 bag, I dashed it out. 2 years ago or whatever, a politician was sharing, they gave me 2 bags of NPK, I dashed them out. Yes, because I don't use them and it's just going to go to waste. I rather see what I do. Guess what is there? You can see this is our farm. This is the tape, this is the drip tapes and the pipe bringing water. But what do you see inside these bags? It's cattle dung. This is dry season. Like every dry season, dry period, as in this is rainy season. In rainy season, you won't be able to pick them. You know why? It will be wet. And if it's not dry, one, it's irritating if it's not dry, and it's irritating if it's not dry, and you won't be able, it look messy, really messy. I'm being sincere with you. But in dry season, see, this is what I do. By the rain will stop here around October. The rain will stop there around October and everything. So by January, latest by December, January, once the boys come back newly, the first work we will do is to go and be packing cattle dungs. Now, all these cattle dungs, poultry waste we pack, we need to pack a lot of, as in, I buy bags, plenty bags. We get plenty bags. Because they are dried. So we go there with shovel, we go there with bags. So we fill them into bags and load them into a vehicle and move them to the farm. So we do that. In a day, because they will first go there and fill the bags. They will go there and pick them. So in a day, we pick in 2 days, we pack 80, 100 bags. Then they rest again and do some other things. In the next, maybe 1 week or 2, some days, we go there again. Because at least this year alone, we should pack more than 30 trucks, 30 pickups. And we were not satisfied because we didn't pack as much as we want. There was even one that we load them in the bag and leave them in the bush. There are cattle dungs, and sometimes we go to the poultry too. Before we got there the next day or to go and pack them, some herdsmen were passing by and they used cutlass to destroy all the bags. They intentionally destroy all the bags. What can I do? When the vehicle got there, they called me and said that they've really, that they've destroyed it. I said, no problem, they should come back. So I'm just telling you, you understand? So this work, we do this around when there's no rain and they are dried. So we go with shovel and every other thing, and we start. You can see the way they put it on the bed. We put it on the bed in bags, 1, 2, maybe 6 or 7 bags on each line. Then we now come back and start spreading. As in, immediately we bring that from the vehicle, we just spread it on the bed. Each bed is taking 7, 7, 8, 8, depending on the size of bags we are using. So once we put it on each bed, because as we are loading it, we already know how many beds. Okay, if we load 80 bags, okay, if each bed is taking 8, 8, so that is 10 beds. That is what we do for the whole farm. We will put manure, we will load this, do this. You do this for a month or 2 months work and be filling the whole farm with manure. It is when we finish feeding, question again. It's when we finish, I'll still stop the video so that we can keep saving them. It's when we finish the whole system, that will now come back and start work. Because right now we cannot pack poultry waste or cattle dung until dry season, until we're in our dry season.